seconds. Mic's turned on. Five, four, three.
Good afternoon. I'm Cookeville Mayor Ricky Shelton.
And I'm Putnam County Mayor Randy Porter. This is our community update for Thursday, May the 14th. COVID-19 virus numbers as of today at 2 p.m. Our total number of confirmed positives in Putnam County is 204, which is 14 more than yesterday. Of the 204 cases, 109 or 53% of those have already recovered. This week, we have had 29 new positives, which is expected with all the governor's restrictions being eased. More people are getting out and going back to work, and restaurants and retail are opening back up. The big thing you have to look at is all the testing we're doing in Putnam, which is much more than most other counties. At the health department's drive-through alone, they're averaging over 200 people per day, with over 4,400 people tested since March. That does not count the testing done at the hospital or at private clinics. The health department is also testing all the Cookeville Regional Hospital and other local medical facilities patients that are having outpatient surgery or some form of procedure performed. These tests are being performed through the drive-through also. So if you're scheduled to have an outpatient procedure or surgery performed, you will need to be tested first. As we keep saying, testing is a good thing. According to the professionals, testing is a big part of stopping the virus. The more people we test, the more people we find that have the virus, and we can put them into quarantine so they cannot infect anyone else. Be prepared. These numbers will continue to go up as long as we're testing this many people. But please put it in perspective. 29 positives out of over 800 tests is only 3% of the people being tested. I'm not trying to downplay the numbers, just the opposite. We're trying to be as transparent as we can and give you all the numbers so that you are as informed as you can be. Currently, there are only 95 people in Putnam County that have tested positive that have not already recovered. A large percentage of those folks never had any symptoms and didn't know they had the virus. If you want to be tested, our drive-through testing continues to be available at the health department on County Services Drive Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. If you want to be tested, just drive by. They're testing anyone that wants to be tested regardless of where you live, and the test is free. Please remember though, just because you test negative today does not mean you can't get the virus. You could come in contact with someone that has the virus next week and still contract it. Testing is only good for the day that you have it done. I was just notified before we came on the air, Mayor Shelton, that the Upper Cumberland region, and specifically Putnam County, has been awarded a $475,000 grant to allow us to continue to test at the high level we have been doing. And this is terrific news for our
Great
community.
news. It sure is.
State Health Department's disbursement of face masks will continue tomorrow at the fairgrounds from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. They have given away over 10,000 masks so far, and shipments continue to arrive. If you cannot make the giveaway at the fairgrounds tomorrow, you can go by the Putnam County Health Department, which is located at 701 County Services Drive, from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily and pick up a mask.
Do we know how many they have in this group?
I know they had over 2,000, and we're expecting another shipment today, so I think we'll have at least several thousand to give out to
Very
the
good,
community.
yes.
So the governor, from what I understand, has ordered several million
Right.
to be able to, for everyone that wants a mask to have one.
And I think it's important to say, I mean, you know, you have these are available. So when you're out in a group at a retail store or something, that's where it's suggested that you wear it. So,
Right.
you know,
need to wear them and realize those masks are, in case you had the virus, you're protecting everyone around you.
right. Since people are asymptomatic.
Yes, and like I said, we have a lot of people that we're testing that do not know that they have the virus. They don't have any symptoms, and they don't have any symptoms all the way through the time
Right.
that they have the virus. So, as we've said many times before, pretend that you have the virus.
Right, sure.
And that wear your mask and you're protecting everyone else from yours. And also, if everyone would do that, then we would stop the spread of the virus. The other counties in the Upper Cumberland today that have confirmed positives as of 2 p.m. are Cannon with 13, Clay with 6, Cumberland with 87, DeKalb County has 28, Fentress has 6, Jackson County has 10, Macon County has 74, Overton County has 14, Pickett County has 1, Smith County has 24, Van Buren County has 2, Warren County has 12, and White County now has 17. Again, Putnam County has 204 confirmed cases as of today at 2 p.m., which is 14 more than yesterday. Marshall?
So, as we've talked about, as businesses are now open, remember, you still have the freedom to choose. You can choose to shop there or not, and you can choose to eat there or not. If you don't think it's safe or you don't think the location is being socially responsible, don't go. Or you can certainly tell them about that. Or if you want to avoid crowds, then that's exactly what you should do. Please take personal responsibility and, most importantly, use common sense so that you can protect yourself and your family. The fact is we all still have the freedom, and you have the freedom to choose. You can also choose online, curbside, or takeout service if you don't feel comfortable eating in the restaurants right now. The important thing is to support, though, our local businesses and restaurants whenever you can. According to the governor's executive order guidelines, most all classes of businesses are now able to open with some form of modifications. They're still issuing some orders pertaining to some outdoor items. Again, these are directives and not laws. There's not an oversight or compliance office. It's called personal responsibility. If you have specific questions about the governor's orders, you can call the governor's office at 615-741-2001. All city parks are open, but due to the governor's directives, Heart of the City Playground, Dogwood Park Fountain, King Creek Rec Center, Gymnasium, and Sportsplex are closed through May. City Hall will open with some modifications beginning on Tuesday, May the 19th, and so you can go in and pay your bills there again. Also, you're able to, we'll have an announcement about Red, White, and Boom, our annual 4th of July celebration later this month. So we'll be having that in the next week or so and update you on all that will be. Also, Cookeville Regional Medical Center, they have currently 4 people in the hospital with COVID, and most all of their ancillary services are now open again. Now, let's get an update from Dr. Pierce from CRMC.
Thank you, Mayor Shelton, Mayor Porter. Appreciate that very much. So Cookeville Regional Medical Center has been slowly, steadily opening back up, and most of our ancillary services and outpatient departments are now back open. We are not allowing any visitors. We're taking very seriously the attempt to stop the spread of the disease. And anyone who comes into the hospital, whether they're a worker or a visitor that has to be there for some reason, they are masked. And so we're masking everyone. We screen everyone and we mask everyone. But we are slowly opening back up. We're doing elective surgeries now. Most of the outpatient departments, cardiac rehab remains closed at this time. I would like to say that we have right now 5 positives. We had a new one since the update this morning, and so we have 5 positives in. We've been relatively steady with that number, so we've not seen a huge increase or a huge decrease. It's a few less than we had last week, but in general it's relatively stable. We have about 15 that remain on isolation awaiting testing. And I would like to point out that in the hospital we have seen severely ill people from this disease, and we've seen otherwise healthy young people, people in their 30s and their 40s, severely ill from this, ill enough that a few years ago they would have died without modern medicine. We have people on a ventilator where we have a machine breathing for them. You know, people in their 30s, that's happened too. And so I'd like to stress that while young, healthy people are not at particular risk, a lot of people have completely asymptomatic or mild disease, it still can be severe in any one person. That depends a lot on your immune reaction to the disease. And so don't be cavalier about it. You should take this very seriously, especially those people that we've mentioned that are older, those people that have chronic cardiac or chronic lung diseases or diabetes. All of those people are at increased risk, and so take it very seriously. There has been another thing that I'd like to point out is that even though we take care of those patients, even though that we have a number of patients in the hospital who are positive, we've had no transmission in the hospital. And that just says that if you will follow the recommendations, you'll be safe from getting the disease yourself. And so we've had no transmission from a patient to a worker or from a worker to a patient that we can recognize at all in the hospital. And so I think that's a very good record, but it just illustrates that if you're serious about it, you can prevent spread. I'd like to just, I think our mayors do an incredibly good job of keeping you updated and stressing what's important, and I'd just like to kind of add my voice to that. A lot of people are resistant to wearing a mask. You know, you should wear a mask, and again, you can easily come down with this illness, and you might not even have symptoms from it, but you could transmit it. So if you go into a store and there's nobody in that store and you think, I don't have to wear my mask in this store, that's wrong. You should put that mask on because you could contaminate a surface. Again, this time of year we have a lot of colds and allergies. Let's say that you just have an allergy, you're not sick at all, but you're coming down with COVID and don't realize it. Again, it's like the example I used last week. Sneeze on something and then you've left your virus there. If you're not even having symptoms, you've left that for someone else to touch. So even in any kind of retail store, even if there's nobody else in there, wear your mask. If you're outside running, you're outside by yourself, no big deal. You certainly don't have to wear a mask. But anytime that you're in places where other people can potentially come into contact with things that you might contaminate, you should wear a mask. The kind of 4 things I think are real important is, 1, wear a mask anytime that you're around that kind of area. The other thing is frequently wash your hands, because when you touch something in a grocery store, you pick up something, you know, someone else could have just touched that, you would never know it, that might be harboring the virus. So wash your hands frequently. Don't touch your face. That's hard to do. We all touch our face all the time, but try to get into the habit of not touching your face. And then the other thing is, don't touch unnecessary surfaces. If you're in a stairwell and you're going up and you're grabbing that stair rail, well, maybe you need to, and if you need to, then go ahead. But if you don't need to, don't grab it, because probably the person before you has, the person before that person has. So anytime that there's common surfaces, try not to touch those. And again, really appreciate all of you being serious about it. If we are careful about it, if we're serious about it, we can really, really decrease the spread of this virus. And that's our goal at this time. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Pierce, and we appreciate everything you're doing, and all the folks at Cookeville Regional Hospital, especially the folks that are on the front line on a day-to-day basis treating those COVID-19 patients and all the other patients coming into the hospital. The courthouse and the Justice Center, we will be doing a controlled reopening next Tuesday, May the 19th, same day that the city of Cookeville is. We put protective measures into place to protect not only our employees, but the general public. The county clerk's office on South Dixie Avenue has already done their controlled reopening this past week, and they're also using their drive-through. Our online services, drive-through and drop-off boxes, will continue to be available even after the reopening if you don't feel comfortable coming in. You can always go to our website at putnamcountytn.gov for our office phone numbers and all of our online services. All of our sports facilities and community centers will continue to be closed through the month of May per the governor's executive order. We are also following the state's guidance and will not be opening our swimming pools. I know this is a disappointment, but due to the high level of risk with the pool environment and COVID-19, they are advising us not to open, so we're going to follow their directive. Mayor, we've been bringing all of these COVID-19 and all these, I guess, somewhat bad news to the folks. We thought it might be a good idea to bring some good news.
Bring some good news. That's right.
So our first one is our tornado cleanup. I was down there today and been talking with all the cleanup folks Saturday.
Yes.
We'll be finished. The weather's supposed to be great tomorrow, and Saturday the trucks will be back in for one final pass. Most of the stumps and stuff has been removed already. I watched a bunch of those going out today, so I know that's been a little longer than we had originally planned. We hoped it to have been done in 60 days. It's took us a little longer, but nobody could predict this COVID-19
absolutely
virus.
not. And they've done a really wonderful job, obviously, first of all, with all the volunteers that helped with that, and then the crew that came in that had done this in other disasters across the United States, and they did a remarkable job.
Custom Tree Care, yes, They have done an amazing job, and we're so thankful to all the volunteers and to everyone that's been a part of this. You've done an amazing job. We can never thank you enough. We live in a great community that turned out by the thousands.
Absolutely.
And got to help get this done. So.
And related to the tornado, I know the Tornado Relief Fund that Mayor and I established early on, I think the second day, and it started growing with generosity and kindness of people literally all over the country. Donating to that, and almost right at $2 million has now been dispersed there was an application process, and those folks, we set up a committee. After helping raise the money, we had nothing to do with the disbursements and actually it was all anonymous. All the people that applied, they were assigned a number. The committee looked at that, scored that based on some criteria that was done, and so the checks ranged from right at $500 all the way up to $15,000. And so those, I know out of the county mayor's office, you all dispersed those last week, went in the mail, so probably most people have gotten those by now. And so we're just so appreciative of the committee, first of all, that did this, and then John Bell and Melinda Kiefer, who were admins that helped that committee, President Bob Bell that chaired that committee, and then the folks in Mayor Porter's office, his staff that helped stuff those envelopes and get those checks out.
It's been great, and let's just say that if you did not fill out an assessment form, it's not too late. We're going to still allow for a few more days, folks, to do that. So if you were a tornado survivor involved in the tornado zone and you did not fill out an assessment form, you can call 931-783-2003. That's 783-2003, or you're welcome to call my office, either one at 526-2161. We have had a few that just heard about it in the last few days for whatever reason, may have had to move away to live with family members or something somewhere else and didn't know about it. So there is still a little bit of time left to turn your assessment form in. And we're so thankful for everyone that donated. That was great.
Absolutely.
We got some good news today about our census.
Yes.
We're number 12 in the state, I think, as far as our census return forms. I think we hit 64% today.
That's
maybe.
Great. 64%.
And, that's a good number. I actually think that may be higher than we were in 2010 with the census return. So we're so appreciative of everyone doing their form, either mailing it back in online or calling into the Census Bureau. We want it to be higher, though.
We do. I mean, it really and truly, just go online. It's the fastest. You don't have to deal with anybody. You don't have to meet anybody. They won't come knock on your door. And 5 to 6 minutes, and you will be done. And it's very, very important to our city and county that everyone is counted, because that is how federal funds are disbursed back to our communities for road projects, for the school system, for many, many projects and things that happen. So it's important that every single person is counted.
Absolutely. Also, we have some more good news with the Putnam Pharmaceutical, Mayor.
Yes, that's always exciting when an existing business is choosing to invest more in our community.
Right.
Certainly in an uncertain time, but this is great
Absolutely.
news.
It is, and their business has been growing the entire time. I don't think the COVID-19 has affected it, and they're expanding and growing. I saw an article in the upcoming Business Journal about their expansions and so forth, and we hope to have some more good news coming in the next week or so.
I think there's
from
some
other
more news
companies.
related to them. You know, they're a packager of medicine for various nursing facilities and hospitals and VA clinics and other things. And so certainly that will probably become even more important, these single-serve packs for medicine, and as evidenced by their commitment to our community to continue to expand and add more jobs and maybe more space too. So we'll tell more about that in a week or so.
We're so thankful to have a Putnam Pharmaceutical in our community, and we thank you for all you do. I know there's a lot of concern, Mayor, with the economy and everything that's going on. We were surprised out in the county for the month of April with our building permits. We actually set a record number of building permits with 40 for the month of April. A lot of those were for new homes, and I know you say, well, we had all the homes destroyed in the tornado. Only 6 of those permits were for homes that were in the tornado zone. So we're still seeing a record amount of construction going on in our city and county, which is great for our community.
Yeah, I know our real estate agents have continued to say that there is a lack of inventory, a lack of homes for sale, certainly in certain categories. And so, again, that is a good thing. We know we have a lot of people moving here. If you move here, do not bring the virus with you, please.
No, please.
But we are are thankful that investment continues to happen in our community, and that's how we get on the other side of this, and then you're still able to go and again support these local businesses, especially the smaller businesses, and we continue to say that, but we can't stress it enough. They were the ones that had to be closed for a couple of months, and so they're hurt the most. You know, the bigger places, again, we're not trying to pick and choose who you shop with. You can shop with whoever you want to, but if you're able to shop with our local businesses and our local restaurants, especially in that downtown corridor and other places, please do that. You know, they really do need that.
They do, and that's support our local businesses and your support in our local economy. We wanted to bring you some good news. We
Yes.
felt like that sometimes over the last couple of months, a lot of it has been bad news. And so as we go forth, when we hear these good news
Well,
stories,
we're going to
be
continue to
bringing
do
them
that, yes.
And we're hoping in the next week or so that we're going to have some really good news for some prospects that we've been
Absolutely.
hearing about. But you never know until those things are finalized. So
Yeah, I mean,
we have to keep those
both
quiet.
in, maybe in retail and restaurant and,
Yeah.
and other sectors. So we'll continue to bring that to you. So this isn't we don't want this to just be a downer. I mean, it is frustrating and sad that our numbers are continuing to go up, but we've got to still figure out a way to manage and mitigate this and have our businesses open and do it safely. And as you heard Dr. Pierce say, I think that's very, very important. When you're out in a setting with people, or going to be in a place where people are, that's where the mask is. And I know people don't really like to wear a mask. I don't really like to wear the mask either. But one good side effect of wearing the mask is no one knows who you are in a store. So, you know, you can go in there and get right back out and sometimes not even have to talk to people if you don't want to. So, anyway, that's...
We want everybody to do their part, and wearing those masks in those heavily trafficked areas is a part of it.
It is.
So we recommend that you do that. Mayor Shelton and I do. I was in one of the larger stores last Sunday, my wife and I think we were only 2 of 10 people that had a mask on, and there was probably 200 or 300 people in the store. So
Absolutely.
We need to do our part. And
Now, if you're outside, you know,
Yeah.
and I've seen people driving around in cars by themselves with a mask on, that I don't, not real sure about that, but certainly, again, it's your choice if you want to do that. Personal choice and freedom if you want to do that. But, you know, outside, again, I know that it's been said, you know, does the temperature kill the virus? Maybe that's not for sure known, but I can tell you that being outside when you can in the sunshine, walking, hiking, whatever that is good for the soul, good for the head, clears your mind, and can get your mind off of some of this too.
good for your health too, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Healthy. Let's close out, Mayor.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So again, please continue to utilize precautions to protect yourself and others. Be kind to and supportive of one another. We are all in this together. Wash your hands. Utilize physical distancing when you do go out. Dr. Pierce said that mask as well. Make reasonable, educated, common sense decisions. You don't need Randy or I or any government official to tell you what to do or what is best for you and your family. You have personal freedom and responsibility, and we will get through this together. For the most up-to-date COVID-19 information, links, and resources, you can visit bettercookeville.com. Continue to pray for our country and choose faith over fear. God bless.
As we keep saying, we just ask that everyone do your part. It all comes down to each one of us taking personal responsibility and making good judgment decisions. Mayor Shelton and I will continue to do live updates to keep you informed. Our next update will be next Wednesday.
We
at 4
both
p.m.
have lots of commitments
Yes.
on meetings and county commission, city council, so we're going to have to just do one next week on Wednesday.
And just remember, if anything comes up important, we're going to be posting it on our social
Yep.
media, so you'll know about it, whether it's a live update or whether
Right.
it's just a text. But we'll keep you updated as much as possible. Our goal is to be as transparent as possible with you and give you all the information that we have. So our next update will not be until next Wednesday at 4 p.m., so don't be upset or panic if you don't see us doing another update until then. It doesn't mean anything except that we have to wait and be able to do these as we can with our commitments.
One thing too, if you want to make sure that you're always getting, when you get on Facebook and getting our updates or getting whatever we've posted, if you go on to both Mayor Porter and my City of Cookeville Mayor Ricky Shelton page, and you click on there's a box there, and you can click See First. And if you do that, then no matter when you log back on, if we've posted something, it will pop up for you, and so you will know what has been posted by both of us. That's one real good way to stay up to date.
Great point, Mayor. Please continue to keep our community leaders, us, and all the other leaders in your prayers along with our country. May God continue to bless Putnam County, and thank you for being with us today.
Thank you.